and welcome back to Inbound Migration's YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. So I wanted to talk about for those people who find themselves in the unfortunate situation where they're on a subclass 457 visa and they need to change employers or find a new employer. So I have a lot of clients that come to me, and this information is relative as at September 2016. Please note that individual circumstances can change things, so it's always better to get in contact so I can give you individual advice. However, this is very general advice to help you. So the basic process is, if you need to leave your employer, say you resign or you're fired, or the business can no longer physically have you there anymore because they can't afford to continue or something. So always look to your contract to know the termination rules, to make sure you know what you're entitled to. If there is something you need to be paid or a certain period of time you need to be notified. From that point, once you physically leave your work and you stop working, you do need to advise immigration, which you can do via email or you can call them and just let them know what's happened. It's also the sponsor's obligation to do the same. So if both of you can do it, that's definitely ideal. From there, you get given a 90-day period in which to make different arrangements. So with a 457, you need to either lodge a new nomination. So say, for example, you're one of the lucky few that then finds another sponsor, and that sponsor is willing to sponsor you. They've already got a standard business sponsorship in place, or they're lodging one. They can nominate you, providing they can obviously meet the nomination criteria and they haven't been able to find an Australian to fill that position. They then go and nominate you. You already hold a subclass 457 visa, so you don't need to relodge that unless, of course, it's expiring in a month's time. If you still had, say, a year or 2 years on that visa, all you're doing is relodging a new nomination with the new business. You cannot work for that employer unless that new nomination is in fact granted. There is a condition on your subclass 457 that binds you to the current nomination in place, which effectively would have been the previous business that you've just retired from. So it's really important to make sure you comply before you take up the new work. So once that new nomination is granted, then you can work for your new employer. Something else that's really important to keep in mind is notifying immigration that you have a pending nomination. So I have had clients come to me that have said, I've got a new nomination pending, but I've been sent a notice of intention to cancel because immigration can't see that I have a new nomination. So it's really important to advise immigration that, one, you've left your employer, but two, you've also successfully lodged a new nomination, and you can give them the TRN, which is a transaction reference number that you would obtain through IMI account when lodging the nomination, and that then they will be happy with that. So the compliance officer will then see that, notice you have a nomination, might even speed it up for you, which has happened for my clients in the past, or they'll say, not a problem, disregard our letter, and then you wait for a decision. So if you have any specific questions, please get in touch with us so we can be more specific with our detail. There are a few things about changing occupations that can make things confusing. Even changing different visas, like say for example you wanted to get off a 457. You can't necessarily go, a lot of people say to me, I found a new employer and I want to lodge a subclass 186 direct entry. I've obtained my skills assessment and I want to lodge this and I want to start working for the new employer. The problem with going down that route is that it can take 6 to 8 months for that visa to be granted. If you've only got 90 days in which you need to have a new sponsor lined up, my suggestion is always to lodge a new nomination with the new business, and then once that is done, or even at the same time, then lodge a 186 direct entry visa. This is just so that you can work for the new employer straight away and that you're not going to exceed the 90 days, because guaranteed you're going to exceed the 90 days. Subclass 186 direct entries on average is 6 to 8 months. So clearly you can see the predicament there. Okay, I think that's all I can share on it at this point in time, but please get in touch. Happy to help. Hope it sheds some more light on your situation. Thank you and good luck.